Tēnā tātou katoa, good evening. We are so close and yet still so far. The dust-up over who gets to be Deputy Prime Minister is one of the last remaining roadblocks in Christopher Luxon's path to finally forming a coalition.
Soon-to-be government MPs flew back to Wellington today in anticipation of a deal being done. But until the ink hits the paper on coalition agreements, we wait. Political editor Jenna Lynch has the latest.
The great homecoming to the capital.
Back in Wellington, does that mean we're almost there?
I hope so.
Coalition MPs flocking back to the mother city.
It's that point in the journey where us New Zealand First MPs have arrived at the head of the fish.
A necessity for some.
I think that Chris Bishop will look better in a fresh shirt, so looking forward to seeing him like that.
I've run out of underwear. I'm happy to be home. I've got to see my family.
But also an indication a government is coming.
When there's an announcement to make, you will be one of the first people to know.
And we won't make it at Wellington Airport, as lovely as it is here.
The morning's movements through the airport's bringing a shot of hope.
We are so close.
The afternoon's press conference a chaser of reality.
We'll continue our conversations tonight and if we have to into tomorrow as well, and as long as it takes, frankly.
The policy is done, the working agreement's done, most of the cabinet room seemingly settled.
Largely all the ministerial appointments and responsibilities have been determined.
But, and it's a big but,
A couple of issues to close out. We're working hard on those.
two coalition partners, one deputy PM role, one of the final conundrums.
It's fair to say it is one of the ones.
Deputy National Leader Nicola Willis confirming she's not interested,
To be honest, I'm not in the race. David and Winston will do a great job.
leaving two to tussle it out.
So it is the Deputy Prime Ministership, which is the
Again,
big
a couple of
hurdle at the
issues to
moment.
close out, and I'll continue to talk to the leaders about that.
One making public pictures,
That's a role that I think I could do, and there's a case for me to do it.
the other keeping quiet, his offsider making the pitch in verse.
Who do you personally want to be the Deputy Prime Minister?
I will leave that matter.
You must have a personal view.
No.
Is your name in the ring?
You're never short for words. Who do you want to be it? Because you talked about experience, you talked about youthfulness, and you were leaning towards Winston, obviously, with that comment. So is that...
Well, you know that great line out of the Bible?
No, I'm not religious.
Right, okay.
Didn't go to religious school.
Okay. No, I went to St. Stephen's Mary Boys School. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. Many are called, but few are chosen. Now, I'm going to stop.
Incoming Prime Minister Christopher Luxon spent the day holed up at home, constantly on the phone.
I've had to recharge my phone twice, so we've been on the phone a lot.
Tapping the digits, trying to reach a compromise with this troubled couple.
Do you foresee a scenario that the two coalition partners could share the Deputy Prime Ministership?
Well, there's obviously been a number of options and conversations taking place and presented and discussed over the last 24 hours.
By evening, the ACT team departing Auckland.
This does look like a deal is done.
It looks like a deal is close enough that we're getting a flight that we can to get down to Wellington.
Have you got the deputy job?
Look, if I had or didn't have a job, I wouldn't be pre-announcing that before a deal was done.
Keeping mum on whether a deal is done.
Well, OK, Jenna, where are we at? Deal or no deal?
No deal yet, but that could change pretty quickly. The ball really is in a court that only David Seymour and Winston Peters have access to now. Christopher Luxon making it clear that the Deputy Prime Minister role is one of, if not the last hurdle that they need to clear to get this thing done. He has promised not to reopen the policy vault for negotiations over that role, so he's left himself without any sort of bartering movement in the policy space which could reopen negotiations. All he has left to deal in is cabinet minister spots. But interesting response there to the question of sharing the role. He didn't rule out there being co-deputy prime ministers, so it might not be that a three-way coalition is not the only new thing we see out of this government. Luxon from here says he's going to stay in Auckland till the deal is done. He'll probably let us know when the talks have wrapped and the deal has gone off to the boards to rubber stamp. Then he's going to hightail it here to Wellington to make any formal announcement. That could happen as quickly as tomorrow, or it might bleed into Friday if Winston Peters and David Seymour dig their heels in. So keep your tallies on, folks. We are nearly there. We will bring you everything we know as soon as we know it.
Indeed, our political editor Jenna Lynch there live from Parliament. Tēnā koe.